What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
And once again, we're at it again, answering questions from you guys in another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get those questions first. We are shooketh because of the internet's response to female Adeptus Custodes. It happened a while back, but I feel like now everybody's kind of getting hit with the reality of like, oh, this is a thing. And they're mad.
Oh, yeah. Angry. Up in flames.
You know who's not mad, though? Vegeta the God. He asks, can Goku survive in 40K?
Yeah, I think so. Because considering Goku is a alien who is able to fly, able to fire energy beams, able to teleport, even the most recent iterations of Goku, he's like capable of pretty much destroying planets, maybe even galaxies.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
On a power level spectrum, I think Dragon Ball Z in general is more powerful as an individual than like anything in 40K. I saw a TikTok and it was explaining how Krillin is probably stronger than a lot of like 40K because he was able to defeat one of Frieza's first forms. And Frieza has the ability to destroy an entire planet with his finger. So I think it's one of those things of like, if an individual can kill another individual that has basically the exterminatus power, obviously the power levels are way off.
Let's not forget that, was it Master Roshi who destroyed the moon with a Kamehameha?
Yeah, when have you
in
heard
Dragon Ball, not even Z.
When have you heard of like a chaos demon doing that?
Yeah.
No, like Magnus landed on the moon. Did he destroy it? No, he fought Gilliman and lost.
I mean, yeah, he was getting like jumped by Sisters of Silence and whatnot.
Adeptus Custodes,
yeah,
which some of them might have been female.
That's what did him in. He's like, no, this can't be canon.
When it comes, well, I guess so. Then, if we were to say one character to destroy Goku, who do you think it would be?
It would have to be like Zeech or something like that.
God.
Like he's got to get tricked, and we've seen like. Has he been like taken? I mean, there's been Goku Black, but that's a little bit different.
Like a corrupted version of Goku? Yeah. A chaos corrupted version of Goku would be cool because like a Manjin is
that's true. Yeah, I guess that could be. Yeah, we've seen Vegeta get corrupted.
I would want to see Korn corrupt Goku though because it's all about war and he's one of like imagine a demonic tournament within the warp. Like just that would be badass.
I can see Goku doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll fight for eternity.
And then he brings that forth like the greater demons of every single faction, and they have to battle out in like that little, what is it called? The little tournament area that they had in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, the world tournament.
There you go.
You stepped out of bounds. You're out.
And back to the warp. Oh, we're in the warp.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Dragon Ball Z, super OP.
Yeah. Next question.
Brian B. Did Shohei Ohtani bet on baseball?
Who's that?
Right. I don't even think that has anything to do with 40K.
I've never been into sports. Have you?
I was into baseball for a little bit in high school, and then I moved to because I didn't like watching it. Yeah. I like playing it. I didn't like watching it, and then I like paid attention to UFC and football for a little bit, and then after that, I was like, nah.
Yeah, it's just not a thing. Next question comes from the big one. If you guys traveled back in time, would you clap all the historical cheeks you could, or would you be too afraid of the poor personal hygiene of the people in the olden times? Definitely afraid of the personal hygiene.
Yeah, like it was an issue to where like cities would just have like poop in the streets because there was no like plumbing to that level.
And the crazy thing is that it wasn't that long ago.
Right.
Like New York was notorious for having so much horse shit like everywhere on the streets, and that's why the sidewalk, you'd get on the sidewalk and then there would be another step, and that's where you would be able to like scrape your feet just in case you stepped in manure. Also, we were watching Shogun.
Yeah.
And
really good, very much recommended.
I haven't seen the last episode, but by the time this goes out I probably will. In one of the first episodes, no spoiler, there's a guy from the UK who is basically living with the Japans, as he calls them. Mm-hmm. And then the Japanese people are like, aren't you going to take a shower? And then he goes like, I took a shower 2 days ago. And it's like, what, do you want me to get sick? That's the mentality of people back in the day. So I wonder what the mentality of 40K would be.
Oh, dude, imagine living in like tight, cramped, like hive cities. They probably never even see water like that.
Well, the crazy thing is that in hive cities, it's recycled everything.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, if you do take a shower, you would be using the water that was used by someone else. Mm-hmm. Which I guess is the same thing with us, right? That's why we have recycling plants for waters and stuff like that. That's why we pay bills. So, I don't know. No, I would be scared for sure. Mm-hmm. Next question.
Twist Jane. In a previous question, you guys said that the Emperor becoming a god might take away from the grim dark theme. But what if they take the inspiration from, say, the Diablo series, where you have angels versus demons? Do you think this will still make it grim dark or less?
I think with Diablo, the few cinematic trailers I've seen, even the angels are, I said it before, they're very angelic. And it reminds me of Age of Sigmar and the Stormcast Eternals, not Space Marines. Space Marines are sadistic boys who are turned into angels of death.
Yeah. Like, they really don't care about humans. Yeah. We've seen this in, like, time and time again. For example, in the Horus Heresy, when Horus was wounded and he had to be taken back onto his flagship, like, all the humans from the ship were like, oh my god, is he okay? So they crowded around where Horus was going to be, and his sons of Horus literally just trampled over everybody as if they weren't even there. Yeah. So, like, they killed hundreds of people to get Horus to, like, the infirmary, and they didn't even bat an eye.
Yep. I think the lore is just full of situations where Space Marines just don't see the value of human life. That's what makes them grim dark. Mm-hmm. There are no good guys in 40K.
Unless you're the Salamanders.
Well, but even then, because they have the whole Promethean cult, which is a whole another grim dark aspect of it. Whereas with the angels of what is it called, Diablo, I think it's different. I think it's way different.
Yeah. So if the Emperor does become a chaos god and has his own demon angels or whatever, it depends.
Yeah. And correct us if we're wrong, because the lore of Diablo is not something that I'm too well versed in.
Yeah. The last time I played Diablo was years ago. So.
Yeah. Next question comes from Captain Turk. What's the post schedule for this channel? It should be every other day, and then the days that we don't post a Greater WAAAGH, you guys get shorts from the previous Greater WAAAGHs. And that should be the schedule forever. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. And then, next question.
Revolver. Is there ever any hope left for the Imperium? Like, they're getting besieged on all sides and from within.
Yeah, obviously, like every single battle that happens and there's a victory, that's hope. Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, for every win, I feel like there's 2 losses.
Maybe. Well, let's take...
well, for example, the 10th edition trailer. You have Gilliman fighting against the Tyranids, and you see he's got these, visual comms, and he's just showing, X's on planet X's, and then more and more X's.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like the Imperium's getting overrun, and even Gilliman, who's a Primarch and, this awesome tactician, I feel like he's almost at his wit's end.
Yeah, but maybe that's what 40K is all about, right? It's a universe of constant war,
right?
So we'll just keep fighting. Yeah. That's another thing about the Imperium. The Imperium is battling a war of attrition, so it's just surviving, throwing masses and masses at them. Sure, you have Space Marines, Tempestus Scions, specialized units, but at the end of the day, it's just constant war.
Yeah, which I think that's one of the cool things about 40K. It's never like in Star Wars, the Empire's winning for an amount of years, and then out of nowhere, the Last Jedi comes out, and it's like, oh, peace to the Imperium. You don't get that. Yeah. With every victory, it's not peace to the Imperium. It's, oh shit, we won one. Look at everything else we have to do.
True. Yeah. Next question comes from Mr. Dankstar. Are the Necrons the perfect enemy for the Tyranids, and why don't we see more battles between them? That's a really good question. We don't see a lot of Tyranid and Necron battles, and that's because Number one, Necrons are barely awakening. Well, we're in a phase right now where there is a lot of dynasties that are out, like crusading, I guess you can say, or defending their dynasties. But for the most part, the full force of the Necrons isn't awoken. And I think that's why. Are they the perfect enemy? Not really.
Close.
Yeah, whether Tyranids can consume Necrodermis is still up in the air.
Yeah, because, I mean, it's biomass, and obviously Necrodermis is like living metal, so maybe, maybe not.
Still carbon.
True. There are Tyranids that have been consuming like rocks and minerals and stuff like that, so why wouldn't Necrons be able to be consumed?
I think it would be scary, and maybe Games Workshop is holding on to this for later, if the Tyranids evolved a way to use Blackstone, which is what is it called? Basically what the Necrons can manipulate, and they use it for their weapons. Noctilith, there you go. Imagine if there was a Tyranid bioform, but instead of their regular armor, it was Noctilith.
Yeah, Blackstone. That'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Considering like Blackstone fortresses are able to absorb warp energy and then shoot it back.
There you go. Like somebody asked in another video, like, why don't the Tyranids manipulate the warp in a different way? They probably will if they fight the Necrons. Will Games Workshop ever touch that idea? Who knows? They're too busy making female space marines or female
custodians.
Yeah. And then we got one last question. What you got?
This one is would Iron Man survive in 40K?
No, he's a human.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen him barely survive the MCU.
He's dead.
There you go, yeah. Because he's just a dude in a suit. Eventually, he's going to run out of power. Even the Iron Man suit isn't that much powerful than like a Terminator suit.
Definitely not.
I don't think his blasts can penetrate that type of armor. If anything, I'll put him at a level slightly below like a Tau battle suit.
Yeah,
and that's like the best he can do.
Yeah, and you know how much hate Tau battle suits get. So Iron Man, no different.
There you go.
And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk the next day.
Yeah, or the day after that. This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Gersh1.
And we are out of here.
Oh, I did put my